You know, people like to say that family is the backbone of everything. A steady anchor. But to be honest, ours felt less like a pillar and more like a messy chessboard, someone always playing queen, someone stuck as a pawn, and then there's the one who just flips the whole thing over. Because chaos is apparently more entertaining. Or at least, it is for him. It all kicked off this past summer. The kind of heat where you're scared to hang your jacket on a chair, worried it might just catch fire from sheer air friction. So there I was, parked at the kitchen table, watching the kettle drag its feet to a boil, when the doorbell rang out of nowhere. I open it, and there's Max, my oldest brother, standing there like he's about to lay down the law, clutching a beat-up folder like it holds the fate of the universe. "Hey, Pat," he says, his voice flat, his knuckles white around the folder. "Hey, Max. What's going on?" I ask, and I notice his eyes doing that twitchy thing it does when he's spiraling. "Yeah, I'm getting a divorce." I nearly spilled my coffee all over the table. "Wait, what? Is that good news or terrible news?" He looked at me like I'd asked whether socks were really necessary in winter. "I'm giving the apartment to my daughter," he says. "I'll be crashing at Mom's for a while." Well, that already sounded like a time bomb disguised as a reasonable plan. At that moment, I completely forgot that in this little family saga we also had a third participant, Dan, our little brother. And, as it turned out, a real secret tactician. Dan was always the baby of the family, all easy smiles and breezy charm, like the star of a rom-com written by someone who'd never been dumped. Every girl he dated looked like she came from the same casting call. Right up until she got promoted to the Never Again Club. But somehow he managed to slide into our exes' lives a little too smoothly. First, it was Anna, Max's former wife. Then, without so much as a warning, he'd set his sights on my ex, Alice. I didn't even clock it at first. Not until I spotted them, sitting cozy in a corner cafe. Wine glasses half full, her laughing like she was 25 again, glowing like a mom at a preschool recital. That night, when he swung by to grab something random like a charger or whatever, I finally asked him, "What the hell are you doing?" He blinked at me, all innocence. "What do you mean?" "I'm just being supportive. They're going through a lot." Like we were talking about rain forecasts or traffic jams. Max, when he got wind of the whole circus, absolutely lost it. Called a summit at Mom's house. And, well, exploded. "Are you completely out of your mind?" he shouted at Dan. "First my wife, now Pat's. What the hell's wrong with you? Do you even have a conscience anymore?" Dan sat there, shoulders hunched, looking like a cat who got caught face deep in a tub of cream, guilty, smug, and not even remotely sorry. "It wasn't like that," he started, trying to explain, his voice somewhere between defensive and clueless. "It just happened. She called me. I mean, come on, we're family. Since when is it wrong to support each other?" "Family? Seriously? Real family doesn't sleep with their brothers' wives." "Dan, that's not support, that's high-end escort service with an emotional tip." Max snapped, shooting a look my way like I was supposed to back up his choice of words. Turns out, Dan hadn't just been around by coincidence. He was the type who tossed the dice, leaned back, and watched everyone else scramble to fix the mess while pretending his hands were clean. He thrived on the applause, the whole "oh, Dan, you're such a good guy. You were there for me" bit. But honestly, it was all smoke and mirrors. The peak of it all, when Alice called me. "You know, Pat," she started, kind of shaky, "Dan and we've been seeing each other. Not like, seriously. Just now and then. He's kind." Saying my jaw dropped doesn't even cover it. "Kind? Alice, he's my brother. My real brother. We had a family life. And now this? And that, in your opinion, is normal?" She fumbled through something about how lonely she'd been, how much it meant to feel someone cared. And all I could do was sit there, hearing those words echo, wondering how I could have missed all the signs. Then came the storm. Max and I showed up at Dan's place, both of us practically vibrating with fury. Even Mom tried to play peacekeeper, but honestly, she didn't stand a chance. You betrayed him, Max said, cold and sharp, staring at Dan like he was some busted tool you just want to toss in the trash. Betrayed him? Dan laughed bitterly. No, you betrayed me. You've all treated me like the baby of the family forever. Like I wasn't capable of anything but tagging along. And now you're all shocked. Your families were already falling apart. I just showed up when nobody else did. I bit back every urge to yell, to break something. But Max? He didn't hold back. So Dan ended up with a torn shirt, a shattered vase, and a relationship with both of us in ruins. You know how they say, time heals all wounds? That's nonsense. Time doesn't heal. It just teaches you to live with the scars you can't do a damn thing about. Max and I don't talk anymore. I've cut off any real conversations with Dan. As for Alice, we only speak when it's about the kids. Max did the same with Anna. Funny how it works out. The youngest was the one who supported us. And then went ahead and took care of our wives too.